Hello and welcome to Eureka, Utah. I haven't been here for 9 years. I have a video, one of my first videos I posted on here 9 years ago is on my channel, and we're back. This time we're visiting a different spot. This is actually an old railroad tunnel on the other side of the road from where I explored 9 years ago. I've known this was here for a while, but had never had the chance to go through it, so it's fun to ride through it here. There's another tunnel somewhere else around here, probably along the railroad path, that has since been collapsed mostly. I guess you can go in a little bit, but not very far. We wrapped around the mountains on the north side and ended up finding this old mine that was open. Went in about 60 feet is all. It wasn't too large of a mine, but it was still fun to explore. Along the way, we came across a couple mine shafts. One of them was really deep from what it sounded like. The other one not too deep. But it was fun to find some old mining areas in this side of the road on the north side. So a while back, I explored what I thought was the humbug tunnels, but it turns out those were about 300 feet above where I actually had explored. So I explored a mine called the Beck number 2 mine, I believe is what it's called. And I decided to go back there today and see if it was still open, because when I came here 9 years ago, it was actually a pretty small opening. And sure enough, it was open. So anyway, getting back to here, this is one of the mine shafts we found, some old machinery in the area. This is coming back towards town from the north side of the road. This guy had some private property and put a whole bunch of skeletons on it with some no trespassing signs and some cameras. Another mine shaft. This one wasn't quite as deep, but it was still fun to walk on top of it. Now this is the Beck tunnel number 2, or Beck mine number 2 mine, I believe is what it's called. And again, this was below the humbug mine about 300 feet, and was actually mined after, or was started after, the humbug mine. From looking up the history, it looked like it was started in the early 1900s and went till about maybe 1906 to 1921. So not terribly long, but they did do quite a bit of mining in this area. So this mine goes in quite a ways back, as I explored 9 years ago. And this time we actually explored almost the entire mine. So we went to the right where it breaks off after the main big room and explored all the way to the very back. So I'll take you guys in here a little bit further to see what else they have. One thing that's cool about this mine, the entrance again is really small, but the rail carts are still in here. I'm assuming it was probably collapsed and someone dug it open again, because it's how small of an entrance it was to squeeze through. But once you get in, of course, it gets a lot bigger and you can stand up and walk in it no problem. But this initial tunnel goes back quite a ways until it comes into the big room. The big room, as I remember it before, still had the electrical box and also the big container that was probably used for propane or something. And I remember finding a miner's glove on there, or near there, when I was here last time, and sure enough, that miner's glove is still there. So whenever someone's coming here to explore it, they haven't touched it, which is pretty awesome to keep things how they were 100 years ago. So pretty awesome. So here's where that miner's glove was found, right over by that tank right there on the right, and there's the old electrical box on the left. Able to take some better pictures as before when it was a lot darker. My flashlight wasn't as good as this one, so I was able to take some good pictures of these old ore chutes that were coming down. Some of them are collapsed, but some of them are still intact. This mine ore chute is almost completely collapsed. It used to be a pretty big one, and just over time, little wedge in this rock here. Came across some more ore chutes and wedges in the rocks. Pretty cool, because when you get into the main room, I know some more ore carts too, which is pretty cool to find. But in these main rooms, the ceilings are probably 30, 40 feet high above you, which is really cool. I don't know if they found a natural cavern or what, but they really dug it out a ton all around, not just going down tunnel per tunnel, but opening up these big, huge rooms. There's some old rails with an ore cart that had fallen next to it, another ore chute up there. So yeah, definitely a lot to see in this mine. It was really cool to see, and now we're going to head back out. All I know is just from looking at the information I could find, mostly silver was mined in this mine. I may have found some gold and the minerals, but mostly this was a silver mine back in the early 1900s. Well, thanks for coming back with me on this journey to explore Eureka again, back to the same mine I explored before. As you can see here, the door is still there, and this is the entrance. You can see mostly collapsed, but just a small little hole up there to squeeze through. All right, thanks for watching.